I just remember feeling really lost. Like I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing on this earth, on this planet, on this plane. I just was working a job that just didn't feel right. I was in a relationship that didn't feel right. I was hitting these brick walls that just felt like they were ever present and always coming for me. Like I could not get past these brick walls no matter how hard I tried to do so. I just mm, to me, it just got to the point where I just needed help. I didn't know where to get this help. I didn't know how to stop this. I just felt like everything in my life was incorrect. I was extremely depressed, like to the point where I didn't know if I wanted to be here anymore. I was, my anxiety was at all time high. I really felt out of control in my own body. So I decided that I needed to go and get some help, and I wanted to talk to a spiritual guidance or a spiritual advisor, if you will, to see like what is going on, like what is it that I can do to get past this. And that single reading did change the course of my life. Before getting that reading, I was I was extremely lost. So I really, really just wanted her help, some guidance, some information from my guides, my ancestors, the angels, whoever wanted to come forth, so I could know what to do. I felt a lot of pressure. I felt a lot of judgment from my relationship regarding my career path. And I always had felt that the entire time. This was nothing new. It just was getting to the point where I couldn't handle it anymore. So that's why I went. I went to that reading thinking like she's going to help me figure out what I need to do. Um, so I go into that reading and she's talking to me and she's telling me all these things. And there's two things that I don't think I'll ever forget what she said to me because they did alter the course of my entire life. The first thing she told me was that me and my fiance's ancestors, both of them or all of them, were at a turf war. They were fighting each other. They did not like each other. And I knew that to be true in my bones. I just immediately was like, got it. And she's like, well, since you work with your ancestors, because I do ancestral work, she's like, they are much stronger than his and they're winning. And I was like, hell yeah. But in that moment, I knew exactly what I needed to do. So I pocketed that for the moment. The next very important thing that she had said to me was that I was going to get into human design and I was going to start reading human design charts and basically be a human design professional. And I was like, what? What is that? I have no idea what that is. I've never heard of that in my entire life until this moment today. And she gave me a little synopsis of what it is, but didn't really go into detail. And I'm glad for that because when I found it, which spoiler alert, I found it, it was very much a personal enlightenment for me. And I'm glad that I was able to find that all on my own. So we wrap up the reading and I go to my fiance. And I remember we're in our bedroom and I'm sitting on the floor, he's on the bed. And I'm talking to him and I'm like, I don't think this is working. And he's like, do you want to break up with me? Are you breaking up with me? And I just remember sitting there, taking a deep breath and just mustering up the courage to say one word, yes. And I am so thankful every day I made that decision. That was absolutely the most correct decision I could have ever made for myself. This was not my forever person. This is a person that wanted me to be somebody who I wasn't. And I can never be that person. I can only be me, authentic and true to me. And I've always been that. And this person wanted me to be more than that. And I just can't. And neither should you. Neither should you. So if anyone wants you to be somebody who you're not, they're not for you. And trust me when I say the best decision or one of the best decisions I've ever made was ending that relationship. So after I broke up with my ex-fiance, I was able to stay with a girlfriend of mine, one of my best friends. She had bought a house earlier that year, so she had room for me, and I'm so grateful for her. I thank the universe for her. Like, she really got me out of a bad predicament. So I'm really, really, really fortunate that I was able to have somewhere to go where I could rest and recoup and just really figure out my shit before I could move on to my next step. It was about 6 months into living at her house, I decided that, you know what? Today is a great day to actually figure out what the fuck human design is. So that's what I did. I went on the internet, I typed in human design, and this website popped up with the body graph. And if you guys know human design, and I'm going to show you my body graph in a little bit, but if those of you who are not new to human design, they know how complicated this chart looks. And it's like, what am I reading? Like this is insane. So I was doing my research on it and I was very confused by it all. And then I started to break down, like, what is human design? Human design, what it is, it's you. It's the blueprint to you. It's your energy. What type of energy that you have. And there's 5 different types. There's the generator, the manifester, the manifesting generator, the reflector, and the projector. Hi, that's me. So depending on your individual aura type gives you your way to work with it efficiently so that you're no longer hitting these brick walls that I was hitting constantly, one after the other after the other. It just was never ending. It helps you really say, hey, this is the way to avoid the brick walls, avoid the people that aren't really seeing you for you, and find your way with way less resistance. And when I tell you there's way less resistance in my life, I truly mean it. I'm thriving because I found my human design. It literally blew my mind apart. How accurate this is, how I felt so insanely seen and validated. And it just made me realize, like, I've been living my life like I have all the energy in the world, and I never have. And I needed to wait for invitations. And I just kept doing it, going out, hitting the ground running, just go make your dreams happen, just do it. Like all these things, right, that we're told over and over and over again. This is how it works. Was never working for me. So I changed it up immediately. I started waiting for the invitation. It wasn't that I was stopping what I love to do. It was saying, hey, I'm going to continue to do what I love to do. And when somebody recognizes what I'm doing and gives me an opportunity to get an invitation from them, I'm going to trust in my intuition and my instincts, which is me personally. Everyone has a little bit different part of you that you listen to make decisions. And if it feels right for me in the moment, then I'm going to go do it. If it doesn't feel right, if it feels like something's off, something's not there, I don't do it. That's your body talking to you. This is how we go forth knowing what decisions are right, what decisions are not right. And it's all through trusting the body. And human design tells you exactly how to do that. This is the human design body graph. Like I was saying, it is very intense. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of moving parts. It's because this modality is made up by 5 other modalities. We have the Chinese I Ching, which is the gates here that we see, are these numbers all throughout the chart there. We also have the chakra system, which are the shapes that are inside the body graph. We have the Kabbalah Tree of Life, which is all these channels and the gates that are being highlighted, all these little avenues. It is also with quantum physics, and astrology is fit here as well. So there's a lot going on with human design. So when I was looking at my chart for the very first time, I was super confused. This is a very confusing chart. So I went ahead and I did my research. And what I found is that when you are a non-sacral, which means you do not have coloration in the second to bottom square in your chart. Clearly, I have some activations here in the center, but it's not colored in or known as defined. When you don't have something that is defined in your chart, you have inconsistent access to it, which says I personally, and any other non-sacrals, which is projectors, reflectors, and manifestors, we have a limited energy. That's all that means. We are not the people that are designed to work a 9 to 5. When we do, we sit on our couches and we don't know how to take care of ourselves anymore. Like we just totally are exhausted and we need to rest almost immediately after working a 9 to 5. People with non-sacral energy or non-consistent energy can work up to 4 hours a day, maybe 6 hours if you're really pushing it. But again, that's pushing it. We need to work with our energy and recognize that we live in rest and we have active cycles. Unlike our friends who are generators or manifesting generators, they have consistent access to their energy because their sacral by nature is defined or colored in. So these people who have this energy can work a 9 to 5, can walk the dog, do the dishes, feed the family, do the laundry, all after working that 9 to 5, as long as they feel, energy. Yep, I want to do that energy. When it comes to non-sacrals, every one of us is a little different. Some of us are emotional. Same with the generators. Some of us have to wait out emotional waves. Some generators are sacral, which is what we just talked about. Uh-huhs or uh-uhs is how you listen. Some of us non-sacrals are also emotional, but also splenic or self-projecting or mental projecting. We have ego. There's a lot of different ways to listen to your body. But for me specific, since we're looking at my chart here, my way to listen to my body is through my intuition, through my instincts. That is what this triangle on its side is. This is known as your splenic center. Your spleen is your intuition and your instincts. So when I am doing my work, because if you don't know who I am, my name is Melody. I am a psychic medium and I work with my intuition daily. So this has absolutely felt so validating to me and so much like, yep, that's exactly who I'm supposed to be, is this person who learns by listening to their intuition. Everyone's a little bit different. Everyone has a little bit of differentness in their chart. No two charts are the same, except if you're twins born very close together. That is what's going on with my twin cousins personally. That's why I know that. But this is a way for us to really show our uniqueness and realize like nothing is wrong with us. Not a single thing is wrong with us. This is how I'm designed to be. After finding my human design and being like, this is exactly who I am. I no longer have animosity towards the things that I can't change or don't want to change or condition to, and realize like that's the core of me. That's who I am. Like this is validating information and it lets me have permission to truly be authentically me. Not that I needed permission and not that you do need permission, you don't, but it just, I don't know how to say it. It just gave me that permission to be like, yeah, this is who you are. This is who you're designed to be. Go forth and don't worry so much about hitting these brick walls. These brick walls aren't meant for you. Turn away from them. Don't insert yourself in situations you don't need to be inserting yourself in without an invitation. And even if you do get the invitation, trust in your body to know if this invitation is correct for me personally. And that's specifically for any projectors. Everyone else has different strategies. Every energy type has a different strategy. Okay. So if you're interested to know about your energy, your strategy, your authority, you can absolutely find me on my website, humandesignwithmelody.com. You can schedule your appointment right from there. If you have questions that you want me to answer here on YouTube, I'd be happy to do so. Drop that comment. Make sure to like this as well if you've made it this far. Thank you so much. You're the real one, and I appreciate you so much. And I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.